So, something strange is going on with the Fan Edition of the Samsung S25, and honestly, it made me stop and think, how is this even possible? The S25 Fan Edition isn't coming out anytime soon, probably not until late 2025. But there's already an exclusive report from a trusted source saying that Samsung might use the Dimensity 9400 chip this year. Now, before you get too excited, earlier rumors said the S25 FE would have the Exynos 2400E, which Samsung used in the S24 FE last year. So, what's going on here? Well, last year Samsung couldn't make enough Exynos 2500 chips to use in the main S25 series. And that same problem might be happening again with the Fan Edition. Usually, Samsung only launches one Fan Edition phone each year. But this time, they're also working on a Z Flip Fan Edition. And leaks say that one too will use the Exynos 2400E. So, if Samsung can't make enough chips for both of these phones, then maybe the S25 FE will get the Dimensity 9400 instead. The report specifically says the Dimensity 9400 is actually Samsung's backup plan. That would be a big surprise if Samsung goes with the Dimensity 9400. But either way, Samsung's in a tricky spot. Fan Edition phones usually get a slower chip than the main flagship phones, to justify the performance gap between the flagship and Fan Edition. This year, the S25 series launched with the Snapdragon 8 Elite, and so far we haven't seen the Exynos 2500 in any Samsung phone. And here's the real question. If there's no real chip upgrade, what actually makes the S25 FE feel different than last year's S24 FE? That chip worked last time, but now things are different. Affordable phones like the OnePlus 13R are coming with faster processors and even better price tags. Samsung might upgrade the RAM size as they did with the S25 series to justify it as a generational upgrade. But if Samsung does go with the Dimensity 9400, which I really hope they do, even though it doesn't seem likely, the S25 FE could actually beat last year's S24 Ultra in performance. And compared to today's flagship phones, the gap in speed and power wouldn't be that big, not something you'd notice right away. Also, the Dimensity 9400 is more expensive than Samsung's own Exynos 2400E. That means pricing could become a big problem for Samsung, and it's going to be tricky to keep the phone affordable. So, what other upgrades are we getting in the S25 FE? It's still pretty early. The phone is months away. But leaks say it'll have a thinner design than last year's version. We don't know exactly how much thinner yet, but we do know last year's S24 FE was 8mm thick, and this one is confirmed to be under 8mm. To make it thinner, Samsung is changing the motherboard design so it can fit a battery that's wider but thinner in shape. Now, the S25 Edge is also dropping today, but just like the S25 FE, is it really worth your money? I've got a full breakdown waiting for you here. This is Techtics, and I'll see you there.